If you want to fix your credit all by yourself with no help from anybody, I'm done with you. If you think you can fix your credit in 22 minutes on your own based on all the hacks that they got on the internet, I'm done with you. If you want to fix your credit with the least amount of money possible and you don't want to pay someone like me or someone else to fix your credit, I'm done with you. Now, hold on a minute. Relax. When I say I'm done with you, I'm not saying I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to fix anything for you. Good luck and sayonara. What I really mean from that is I have launched a new software platform that will allow you to work on your credit. The system will tell you how to fix your credit. It will generate letters for you. It is going to write the letters, the words, and everything, and tell you what you need to say to work on your credit and fix it. And if you want, you can even have us print the letters and mail them for you. So all you have to do is go in, upload your credit report, and let the system do its thing. Now, if you that sound great to you, let me show you how that is. But first, before I do that, I just want to tell you why I did this. Now, I talk to people every day about fixing their credit. Many folks want their credit fixed. Now, I have prices that I charge. A lot of folks either can't or won't pay what I require to do all the work for you involved in fixing your credit because I'm disputing on your behalf. Me and my team are going through the compliance issues on your behalf. We're going through all the regulatory things on your behalf. We may even file complaints with the CFPB on your behalf. And if things get really serious, we have a law firm that we partner with that will even go to court and fight for you in court if they're doing things that are out of compliance, illegal, or against the rules. So there's a lot of value, there's a lot of things you're doing when you're paying me to fix your credit. Now, I understand if you got budget issues and you don't want to do that, you're looking for a lower cost option. I mean, you're doing it right. You're going out, you're searching and doing research and figuring out what's the right way to do it. Unfortunately, that's a challenge because there are many, many people out there claiming to help people fix their credit. And a lot of them are offering hacks. I'm going to say it that way. I was trying to think of a better word, but hacks and tricks that don't really help you with your credit. Some of them help, but it's temporary. Some of them are a fantasy. They're telling you to do techniques that don't even apply to your situation. But they do that purposely because they want something from you. Wow. So I get it. You want to do it yourself. You're not scared. You aren't scared. And you want to fix your credit yourself, but you just want some guidance. You want some help, but you're willing to do a lot of the work. This is where Credit Builder comes in because it'll give you the system, the software, and the support to help you fix your credit for a much lower price than it would be to hire somebody else. But it's reliable in that you're going to be getting supported by a real credit repair company that has real people, myself, to talk to help guide you along the way. Now, this is not me working on your credit for you. This is me consulting you on what your things to do if you have questions above and beyond what the system is going to tell you what to do to help work on your credit. Right? Now, again, the distinction is my full service is done for you. Although you still have to do some things, you have to manage your credit, you still have to keep up with your mail and correspondence, but 90% of the work is being done by us. With this platform, it's done with you. You're doing 90% of the work, and 10% is us helping you through with some guidance things. I have lots of checklists and periodicals and content that will educate you further and educate you. And I guarantee you're going to be more educated than just about anything out there in terms of what you're getting to help you with your credit. And I say that with confidence. I have people who started out learning about credit, and then some of them went on to become credit repair people. I trained them some, and then they went out and sought more training elsewhere. So I've put people in the credit repair space. I've put people who started out as home buyers and now they're real estate investors because I gave them the foundation, not only from the credit, but from the investing side so that they could do that. But enough about me. What's different is that this is not totally DIY. Now, I run the risk of being overly involved in clients as everybody's rolling out. But I do have a school community. I do have forums where people can come together and I can help through these credit questions. And that's going to be part of what you get when you sign up with Credit Builder. You're going to have that access to that support along with many of my courses and content things. There'll be some things that you will have access to as well. Now, of course, the system is not geared for the Mortgage Ready program that I have. That's a custom thing of me. But again, you'll have access to that. And if you're subscribed to my platform, you're going to have access to many of these things for free or at a reduced cost over what folks are paying just to reach out to me when they're not a client. Now, what your subscription with this, you're going to have access to the software, obviously. That's the primary thing. I'll provide, the system has many tools within it that will review your credit report. It'll organize your credit information for you. The system will create the letters for you, like I said. And then if you want, we can even print and mail them for you for an additional cost above the $57. So the mail services is above it. It's additional cost. The system will track your progress for you and show you in the system. And I'll show you what that looks like. Myself, will have a credit education program for you that I mentioned earlier. I will provide for you mortgage ready guidance if your goal is to buy a home. And I will provide you funding ready guidance if your goal is to get funding because you've either started a business or looking to start one. And so, because, and the beautiful part of this is the mortgage ready provisions and guidelines and the funding ready guidelines are very similar so that my system will work to achieve your goal with either one of those. You can apply the same strategies and techniques that's here. That's part of my mortgage ready program, which is also my funding ready program. You will get some coaching from me. And then again, if you want additional coaching, then we talk about that. And of course, you have access, as I mentioned, to my new Credit Renovators Network, which is my school community. And there's a lot going on there. I'm got that up and running now, but I'm adding some stuff there. It's a free community, and I'll have the link in the show notes, the invitation, as well as the link to the platform. So you'll have access to the software. You'll also have me helping you understand how to use the software and the bigger mortgage ready credit strategy. Now, the platform more or less handles a lot of the technical stuff for you. From your perspective, it's electronic. However, on the back end, this is all mail, which mail is the preferred way to work on your credit. The credit bureaus pay way more attention to the written or typed letters, paper letters that come through their system than the electronic disputes. They don't really, the laws that require them to react to your requests, your disputes, your requests for validation, verification, investigations, they don't have to take the electronic ones as serious. But the beauty here is you can do it the same electronic way from your end that you do on Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax apps. But on the back end, it's going to the bureaus as a paper dispute as a paper investigation request, which has much more weight than just doing it electronically directly through them. So you get the best of both worlds in terms of that, just like you get the best of both worlds in terms of whether you're getting some professional credit help, even though it's a DIY type of situation. So who is this for? It's for anybody who wants to improve their own credit on their own at a budget sort of perspective. It's for anyone who wants to work towards buying their first home or their next home, or even be ready for refinance if that's what you're doing. It's good for anyone who is willing to follow instructions and to take immediate action when the system tells them to, because that's a big part of working on your credit. Whether you're working with me or whether you're working on your own in the system, you have to do things in a timely manner. You get the most effect when you do things in a timely manner. And part of working on your credit efficiently is working through a process at a certain and do things at certain steps. That's the beauty of the system. It'll tell you what to do. All you gotta do is follow instructions and don't procrastinate. Okay. This is an affordable alternative to, say, hiring me. Now, of course, it's not as convenient, but it's pretty darn close. But you still got to do some work, especially if you use the mailing service. It's really convenient. You don't even have to worry about writing letters, printing letters, postage, those type of things. So that's a plus. It also has the value of, if you want to be coached to some degree, and instead of just being handed some software and say fly, free, like a lot of other platforms that are truly DIY, they say, hey, we ain't doing nothing for you. All we're doing is providing you software. And I wanted to give a little bit more than that, but I end up giving a lot more than that. And again, if you want to understand how credit works, I have all the resources to educate you so that you'll become a credit master, right? So when I say I am done with you, that's what I mean. Doesn't mean I'm done with you. So let me introduce you to Credit Builder and show you how it works. So let me just share my screen. Okay. And show you what the website looks like. So this is Credit Builders, powered by Credit DIY. Now on the website, it does say up top DIY. That's hard coded in the system, but it's really more DWY. And of course, you can see that based on the things I described that you would get. And so this is the website. I'm showing you this because some people who went and they say, oh, I didn't know it was Credit Renovators, because it says Credit Builders. But as you see, it says Credit Builders powered by Credit Renovators. That's us here at Credit Renovators. So that's just the website. And of course, you see here, we did a lot of testing. And when I say we, I mean the developers that I partnered with. They did a lot of tests and on this to make sure that it was good. And this is what they came up with. Now, I just wanted to point out to you that between me and the developers and my partners, who we all worked to get this going, 14 years experience between now, not between all of us, but I got 5 years of this, but 27 years in dealing in credit on the bank front. For this, my partner has 14 years in actual credit repair. His business has been around 14 years. The developer has worked in the credit space using technology for about 8 of those 14 years as well. So between the three of us, we got a lot of years. 14 for him, 5 for me, 8 for him. But more importantly, that just tells you a lot of what's behind the creation of this, because we looked at all of the ones that were and what was wrong with them, and we made sure that they didn't have that here. Now, of course, there's no contract. You can cancel anytime. And so then you would just click here to start your journey. And then once you do that, it would take you here. This is the sign-in screen, the welcome screen. And so what happens here, let me scroll this up a little bit. Now, I just wanted to point out a few things. Of course, this is the nice welcome. It's telling you how we work, another summary, same things I told you already. The system tells you what all the things need disputing. You can pick, and this the thing, it's your choice. You can pick all the things and do them a little bit at a time or at once, or you can pick through and just do what you want to do a little bit at a time. The choice is yours. Once you approve it, if you want, we mail it for you. You have to worry about printing, stamps, post office runs. The $2 fee covers your postage per letter. And then we give you confirmations when everything is mailed out, confirmations, and that we don't do any first class mail or any signed to mail, because we just found that from a credit standpoint, from a dispute standpoint, from a compliance, or I'm going to say an attack. That's the word we kind of use when we talk about all the ways we address the work on credit, attacks. There's no need to pay the extra for postage, the extra postage for first class or signed mail or anything like that. The system will show you everything. And of course, you're never locked in, because you can start whenever you're ready. You can stop whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, you just pay the $57 a month. And that's the only thing that's regular and consistent. It's $57 a month. Wow. That's the current pricing right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was originally going to start at 97 because of all the value that's there. But I said I'm going to start introductory because I want to get people, as many people who are budget challenged in right now. So I said I would start at 57 to get a lot of folks in. And then if I just see that maybe I need to increase the value, if I decide to increase the price later, I may. But right now it's 57 bucks. Don't know how long that's going to be. You put in your name and your email address, and then it'll process it. Now my processor is Stripe, so it can accept that. I believe Stripe, if I remember correctly, there are obviously you don't need any buy now pay here play type of Klarna's afterpay, but I will accept there. Stripe will process a number of different payment options there. And so then once you do that and you sign up, and let me share, you click through that. And then you would go here. It would take you to this page. And this is where you would have your dashboard, personal information, and all that. Now, the way it works is when you get to the dashboard, and then it would tell you, now this has already been filled out, but normally these are all red. So you would go through and it takes you step by step. And so I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. But here's all be the steps. This is normally all red when you start. And so then it would tell you, go right down the line. Personal information, you would fill all this out, all your information. Once you fill that out, it will check green. And then it says, okay, upload your documents. For any of you who've ever had credit repair before, you'll be familiar with this, where you will upload your ID, because again, you're going to be sending out letters to the credit bureaus and they won't do anything without these items. This is for their benefit. Your ID, you want to make sure you take a nice clear picture. And actually I should fix these because I usually like the pictures to be solid. So I normally what I'll do before I get done with this one, I'll clean these up a little bit, make them nice and pretty, because they will appear on your letters, the ones going to the credit bureaus. And so Social Security card, as you can see, we don't care about the condition of the card as long as this information is clear in terms of social security number, printed name, and signature. And then proof of address, typically utility bill, but you can use a bank statement or a lease as it says here, as long as it's something recent. And you put that in there, and then you sign the identity affidavit because you're swearing that you are who you say you are and that your address and all of that is right. Again, this is what the bureaus want to take you seriously in that. And so once you save all that, as you can see, there's a green check mark, and then it says start fixing. Now, here is where you would upload your credit report. Now, currently, if as long as you can print your credit report and you can print it to it's a PDF. Now, preferably if you have a 3-bureau report where your TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax are all on one credit report, you can upload it that way. However, if you have Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax separately, you could print them separately and upload them separately. But the thing with that is the system is only going to be able to, it's going to, because it can only read one bureau, it's going to only talk about one bureau, and then you upload the other one. So the preferred method to make it easier for you would be to have a 3-bureau report. I recommend My Free Score Now or Smart Credit or Identity IQ. Now, I know that might, I don't like to give you too many, but My Free Score Now is a great one. Their credit reports are really easy to read, not only for the system, but for you if you wanted to review it yourself. But again, the system will review it for you and show you. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And so what you would normally do is you would click once that, like say, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to show you My Free Score Now, because this person on this file, that's where their credit report is. So I'm going to share that with you. And then what you want to do is, if you see here, once you go into the report, you would click on credit report. Then you would click here where it says print. And what it does, it will print. And let me show you a little bit about the report. You can see here they got scores, need some work to get there. And it shows you everything. It shows you all the good accounts in green. It shows you all the negative accounts in red. Collections, things of that nature. And then it shows you other the positive accounts that it showed you up top in detail. And you have those, and you can just click through. You can open them up. You can see the details here. But like with the negative accounts, see, you click on this one, and then you click on that, and then it takes you down to that section, and then you can open this up, and then you can see there's collections. There's delinquencies here, not collections, but a delinquency. But there are others. You'll see here, delinquencies here. You'll see other things. So basically, you'll go through, I'm not going to bore you with it, but you'll go through and you'll look at all the individual accounts. And as you can see, just by looking at it, there's derogatory information. See all these, everything other than green is an issue. That's the way this credit report is laid out. Many of them are the same way. See all of these delinquencies, all of those in each of the 3 bureaus. See, this being a 3-bureau report, it's showing everything together. And so what happens is, I'm going to show you. You can download your credit report directly into the platform. It's a beautiful thing. So what you would do when you're at this screen, it's going to say choose your file. Oh, I forgot to show you how to print. Sorry about that. When you print, up here at the top, with my free score, but all the credit, no matter who you use, they usually have either a print function here in the profile, or they'll have a print icon there. You click print, and then it creates a PDF. And then what you do, you have it in your file, you'll print. Then I'm going to show you. You would click the file. And let me share that with you. Oh, it just doesn't want to show you, but let me just share this way. This is the easiest way. And so it created a file when I clicked print. And so then I would click choose file, and it's going to send it to, here's the file where it sent it. And then you open it and you do that. And then as you can see here, it's telling you right now, upload your credit report. As you can see, it opened it, it uploaded it quickly. See, the system works great. Then you would click generate my letters. And now this is where it's reading the credit report. As you can see here, it says it's uploaded. It's uploaded, which we saw that did that first. Then it's saying read your credit report. And so it's reading it now. And it's going to tell us, see, 20 seconds, see the clock there. And it's telling us, it's reading the report. It's deciding what do we need to do. It's thinking. And while it's doing that, I just wanted to point out that you know, you just want to be well, actually, let me talk about this. One of the biggest problems that I see with folks, and they struggle with working on their credit, whether they're a client of mine, but they have me to talk them down. But oftentimes when they're trying to do things themselves, part of the frustration for you guys is when things aren't working the way you expect them to. And oftentimes that's based on misinformation and mythology, which leads you to have improper expectations about the process. But one thing I will tell you, in the confusion, it's perseverance. You gotta be tough. You gotta stick with it. You gotta be, because when you think things aren't working because you're just looking at your credit score and waiting for your score to go up, that should not be your goal. Your goal should be because remember, your credit score is based on the items that are on your report. And so the goal here is to clear up all the negative items. And so there's nothing there for the algorithm to punish you for, and your scores go up. So, and this is a process. It doesn't happen every month right off the bat. You can't count your progress based on what happened this month versus last month in terms of score. You got to go through the process and work on the issues. When you work on the issues and clear them up, the score will come. I promise you, the score will come. Now, looking at this, it says here, it says you can start your round, and it says here are the negative items that we found on your report. And then it says choose which ones you'd like to dispute. We read your report and found 57 items that you can dispute. Now, it always starts out with the dispute process because that's usually where you start. sometimes we go compliance first and professionally, but the system can only do things and will only do things in certain order because it thinks if that's what it thinks is the most efficient way to do it. So then it tells you to check. Now, if you want, you can check all 57 in one swoop, or you can go through step by step. You may have something, you may already be making payment plans, so you don't want to challenge something that you already got worked out with them. That kind of makes them angry because they're like, why are you challenging what we said when you agreed to a payment plan? So again, part of my education process, I'll talk you through the thinking behind that, right? And it says collections and charge-offs. It talks about late payments and how to dispute those if you have a good reason. Now, understanding when you're disputing, you can't just dispute because you don't like it. You have to have a reason. If you say that's not right, that's wrong, or I challenge that, I don't believe that's amount, you have to do that. You have to decide why you're disputing this. So when you click on dispute and then it asks you, you check it, and then it'll go on. I don't want to do it with this because it's going to generate something we don't want. But then once we go in and we decide why are we disputing these late payments, and you have reason for that, and then you dispute that, and then the system will give you some check boxes with some reasons. And then you say, oh, I want the information confirmed. That way it'll ask for an investigation first. So if you're not sure what's wrong, why it's wrong, you can always get an investigation first. Have them confirm the information because it could be wrong. 73% as of 2024, the data compiled says about 73% of the people in the United States who have a credit file have errors. And so we don't assume just because it says, just because somebody reported you late that it really was. And so it gives you the option there, and then you can dispute it. Same thing with inquiries. If you got excessive inquiries, and if the lender had a permissible purpose, if you actually applied, now what I see a lot of times is you made one application at the car dealership, but you ended up with 14 inquiries because you only submitted one application. They duplicated your application, even after you told, let me guess, you told them not to run it that many times, but they did anyway. You can fight to remove that. Now, many of them will say, well, we ran it as many times as we needed to try to get you an approval, and they'll blame the poor credit for the inquiries. However, the inquiries can often lead to more poor credit. So you should always be careful about who you apply to and when and how many times. But when you have situations like this, you can see these are all, with a few exceptions, the majority of these are car lenders. So this person applied when I talked to them, he said, I applied at the dealership, and then I kept getting all these letters. And so all of these, and again, the reason why they're duplicates too, because remember, some of these are Equifax, some of these are Experian, some of these are TransUnion. So every lender doesn't necessarily report to all three bureaus. Some do, but that's, as you can see, it's not that hard. One situation, and she got 49 inquiries, most of them related to the same loan application. As you can see that. So you have a choice. You can dispute all of these. System will dispute them for you. You're going to be disputing it right with the credit bureaus. And then it tells you how it works. 3 simple steps, right? Today, the items you pick go in the mail. We're doing just about same day. Obviously, if it's the weekend, things like that, then of course, you got to wait because the mail doesn't run on Sundays or weekends like that. Well, it does on Saturday, but not on Sundays. And so it tells you, once you choose your items, continue. We build the dispute letter for each one that you choose. You review and approve it before. So you get to look at it and say, okay, that looks right. I'm happy with that. Then if you want to choose the service, we'll print it for you, put it in an envelope, put a first class stamp on it, $2. Now, keep in mind, some letters can be a little long. And so if the weight, that's based on that weight of the 1 ounce letter. Okay. And so for you, all that really matters is for you, there's nothing for you to print, stamp yourself. You don't have to run to the post office, so on and so forth. And then once we send it out, the FCR investigation clock starts the day that the Bureau receives the letter. So we mail it out. They may receive it in 3 days, 3 to 7 days. And then once they receive it in, that's when the clock starts for them to do their investigation regarding whatever it is you asked about, whether you did a dispute or an investigation request. And so then they say the bureaus have 30 days. That's what it says. And that's true. By federal law, they have 30 days to investigate. Now, there are situations where they can go beyond that, but the general rule is we're holding them to the 30 days. And then if they need more time for other things, then the burden is on them to justify it, put it that way. But I think if you stick with the 30-day cycle, that should be by which you run everything, because 30-day cycle, 30-day credit report. And then after 35 days, you upload. It'll tell you, hey, it's time to upload your new report. Because remember, your report comes every 30 days, but you don't want to upload it until 5 days after the refresh. And the beautiful thing about My Free Score Now, they'll update it for you, and then you just have to upload it again and then rerun it through so it can look at the new report. The beauty of this system is that it'll look at the new report compared to what the last report, the original one, compare the difference and tell you, oh, it'll read if anything got removed, when anything gets removed. It'll tell you if the item still remains, it'll tell you, and then it'll tell you, it won't just tell you to run the same letter again. It's going to say, oh, we still got it on round 2. We're going to use stronger language. So it's going to escalate that demand for an investigation or that request for removal with stronger language based on, especially if we determine there's reasons why it shouldn't be on your report. They ignore them and they say, okay, you're ignoring them. We're warning you. We're going to file a complaint with the CFPB. It may recommend you do that, which you can certainly do. And of course, you can ask me all about it, and I would run you through that process. It's really straightforward. It's not much at all. Okay, and so then after you've done that, let me see. I'm going to do something here just so you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to pick one here. Continue with this one item so you can see what it looks like. Now here's where you draw your signature. And this is, I just did this squiggly, but you would want to draw a nice signature because that's going to be the signature that's on the letter, as you can imagine. And so then here's what it looks like. The letter, and see, I got to fix this because normally I would have everything lined up nice and neat. But that's what you want to do to make sure everything looks pretty, because remember I told you this is what's on the letter. And so just to show you what that looks like. It created 3 letters because remember, the one I picked appears on all 3 credit bureaus. We have to send a letter to each bureau. And so if you did that, $6, it'll create 3 letters for you. And the beautiful part about this, it's not the same letter. If you notice, they use different language because we know from experience that the different bureaus respond differently to different letters. So if you know, we're talking about the same account. Now the letter going to Equifax says to whom it may concern, I am writing because this information. And you see they went on, pointed out the one I clicked on, created the letter, and says, this is inaccurate information. We want an investigation. We even put in there, we mentioned about the addresses because the client confirmed what their address was, and there's multiple addresses in here. And so we automatically always tackle the personal information. I know there's a lot of debate out there in my industry about whether it matters or not. I figure like it never hurts to clean up your credit report, because the less information that's on there, the less inaccuracies. And remember, I told you 73% got that. So it's real important. Don't want to bore you with the details, but you see, the system already is addressing it for you, because if you didn't know what I just said, it's going to do it for you, because it knows it needs to be done. And then you would look at that one, and then you would go to the next letter. Now you notice it's the same account, but when we talk to, oh, this is the authorization that you clicked on there. Now the next letter is for Experian. Now it doesn't say the same thing. It says, I'm writing because there's information I think that's inaccurate and I'd like it to be corrected. Different language, different attack, but still talking about the same information. But it didn't just cookie cutter the other letter. And then thirdly, with TransUnion, because TransUnion looks at things a little bit more based on the actual laws, which it cites here, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You see, it says, Dear TransUnion, Information Services, pursuant to, sounds real legal, right? The other one sounded more casual, like, hey guys, we're concerned about some stuff. The system knows what language to use for the different credit bureaus. So it's not like some of these people out here, they say, oh, we're gonna send you a dispute letter, and they want you to use the same letter with every bureau on every account, and that'll get you nowhere. So the system, the AI knows how to talk to the three bureaus, because it's had 12,000 examples of that. And like I showed you on the first page, 12,000 examples of what works and what doesn't work, or more importantly, what works better. What works better with this bureau versus that bureau, with this kind of account versus that one. So the system is very smart with that. And of course, you would die that, and then you would submit the round, and it would charge you. But I don't want to do anything yet, because I gotta actually fix this one to do it right. I saved this one. I asked the client, could I use hers before she goes forward, because I told her I wanted to use this one. She was like, okay, because she was waiting on something that she had worked on manually before she joined here. So that's that. So that's pretty much how the system works, and it just takes you right through it. See, my talking about it. Oh, I want to show you guys this, because this is really cool. This is cool. Let me go back to the website, because I want to show you this. More of what's built in for help. Check this out. Now, we got all of that, right? You see this here where it says education? Check this out. See these videos? This is our Credit Repair University. I told you I'm big on the education. Now, this is just the beginning. And so what you can do here, it gives you a welcome video. And see, you just click.
Congratulations on taking your first step toward financial freedom. Seriously, the fact that you are here means you have decided to take control of your credit, and that is a big deal.
In order of the suggested way we think you should watch the videos.
Your credit report is not some mystical number that controls your life.
And
it is a document, a file, and it was built.
This is the welcome. This explains to you about how credit reports work. This tells you a lot. This is a good one. That's why it's 4 minutes as well, because it's going to tell you all about section 609, 611. And if you want to know more about what those statutes are, I have specific videos in my YouTube channel. you can look those up, and I explain to you what Section 609 is, 611, 623, so you'll have some more background on what those are. But it's beautiful. Is all of these web videos, they all work to help you. They're here to guide you. But again, the beauty of working with me is you can have me for questions as well. But again, you may not need me as much as you think as far as navigating the system. I'm here to give you that insight and expertise and the education above and beyond the education that's here with these videos. So that's the system, and that's the how that works, the technical part. And again, lastly, about the program. And so again, yes, I am done with you. If you want, that means I am done with you. Your credit journey can be done, and I will be with you on that credit journey. So I am officially done with you if you subscribe to the I can't talk today, it's Sunday. Subscribe to the platform and into my program, and my community will give you all the support that you would need. And if you want additional education as well, have all those resources available. So, but the key here is you'll have the software, you'll have all the tools, you'll have the mortgage ready strategy that I developed, and most importantly, you will have my coaching and my support. As much as little as you is to a minimum, but as little as you need and as much as you might want. But you're also going to have to play an active role in renovating your credit. But you're also going to think about how you want to dispute, and we help you with that. So if you click the link, I'm gonna put the link in the description for the platform, the software platform, the link, so you can take you right to it, and you can go ahead and sign up. I'll also provide a link in there for my website and for some other resources that you might want to take advantage of as well. But I say, take advantage of the $57 price, because it might change. Eventually it will change, because I know that the value here is way beyond that, but I'm okay with that. I'm more than happy with giving you more value than you pay for. But I'll see how that goes. So just remember, I'm not just here to help you repair your credit. I'm here to help you become mortgage ready or funding ready, and at your own pace and in your own budget. So as I say again, I'm done with you. Now I want to ask you guys to do me a favor. Hopefully you stayed through this whole video if you did. But I'm asking you to help me reach more people. Could you please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already? I really would appreciate that. If you've already subscribed, I would ask that you please share this video as well as any other ones, and share them to folks, and then maybe ask them to subscribe. I'd really like to because I know YouTube puts me out there to folks, but I really want to get out there bigger, and they really pay attention when you got 1,000 subscribers. I mean, it's free. I'm giving out free game all day, every day. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I can definitely reach more people and help them out as well. So if you enjoyed this video and you see the value of the website, I would say sign up for the software service. But no cost act is, please, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. I'll have my community in there link as well. So join that. It's a free community. There'll be more value and content there for you. So if you could do that for me, it'd be great. I really appreciate it. A lot of folks. And comment. If you don't like it, comment. If you do like it, comment. If you got suggestions, give me comments. If you got criticism, that's fine, as long as you're respectful in that, as they say. I would ask that you do that. But remember, I'm done with you. Talk to you soon.